Okay, welcome everyone as we welcome in Mark Frankel and Saba, Shelley Zeitlin, Irving Fishbaum, Reb Kramer, Yitzi Muller, Moshe Lehman, Dr. Guy, Shalom Fogel, Shimon Klein, Ruvain Pollack, Marshall Castle, Nachman Chapler, Aaron Swade, Ilya Shutman, Dr. Ruvain Guy, Reb Avram Rezepkowitz, and Abe Arbach, Pesach Siegelman, Rabbi Kranz, Yitzi Padower, Naftali Javelin, and holding up the fort over here is Ruvain Shannon. I know that Berish Gesseman is probably a shout out to him. I know he has a trade show in Vegas, so he might be having a conflict. I see Ben Zion Cohn is joining us now. We know Gedalia has his last Sheva Brachas tonight. Mazel Tov to him. Tonight's shir is being specially sponsored from one of our members here in the Agudas Yisrael Beis Zev, the Salkowitz family. Their granddaughter, who's 11 years old, is having open heart surgery tomorrow morning. So let's really have her in mind with our learning, Sarah Fega Baslei Achaya. Sarah Fega Baslei Achaya. She should have a refuah shalema b'seich shachar Yisrael. Thank you, Shashi. We're also sponsored. Here's a name. A 11-year-old is having open heart surgery. Sarah Fega Baslei Achaya. Sarah Fega Baslei Achaya. We learn with appreciation to the Spry family for sponsoring the shir, for nachas from their family, and also by Michal Avram Chavin for sponsoring it. We should all finish Shas. Actually, Michal Avram, I see, is not here now. He was driving his mother back to the airport. He has a 90-year-old mother. 90-year-old mother who still plays competitive golf. Really incredible. She should have a Gesund 11. She won a trophy. What?
Not a pickleball player?
Listen, these are old-fashioned people, you know. They play wimpy sports like golf. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol nהיה b'dvaro. Okay, now we're actually, this is a little challenging. We're holding in the middle of a sugya. Rav Huna had said that even in the event that Marshall does his good act of the day, and he was a shimer for Ruvain, and instead of taking the easy way out and swearing and not paying, he decides he would pay, and then he's awarded the kefil or the dal v'hei. Rav Huna says he still has to swear that he doesn't have Ruvain's item, because otherwise we're suspicious that maybe he just, liked Ruvain's item, in Marshall's wonderful kind of way. Now, we asked, we are on Lamed Hey Amud Aleph, 35A1. We asked that in the case where Mel gave to Ruvain alone, and we said that in the Sefer of the Reisha, that was what we left off, that it was going on, and the Sefer of the Reisha was a case where Mel said, Ruvain, I gave you a loan of a seller, and you gave me collateral worth a shekel. A shekel is half a selah. You gave me collateral worth a shekel. And Mel says, okay, I lost the collateral, so half of the debt is canceled, and you got to pay me a shekel, right? Because I gave you a loan of a selah, which is 2 shekel, and you gave me collateral of a shekel. I lost the collateral, so you owe me a shekel. And Ruvain says, not exactly. That's not the way it was. He says, it's true, Mel, you gave me a loan of a seller, but I gave you collateral that was worth 3 dinner. 3 dinner is 3/4 of a seller, because there's 4 dinner in a seller. So the collateral is worth 3 dinner. So I don't owe you a shekel, I only owe you a dinner. So normally we said that Ruvain is the Maida B'Mixas. Normally we say that Ruvain is the Maida B'Mixas, right? Because Mel is claiming from him a shekel, and Ruvain says he only has to pay Mel a dinner. So normally Ruvain would be the one that has to swear. But we say we shift the shvuah to Mel, because otherwise we're afraid that Mel, after Ruvain will swear, will pull out the collateral and show that Ruvain is a liar. So the Gemara says, but if Mel has to make a shvuah that he doesn't have the collateral, then what are we worrying that Mel is going to pull out the collateral, right? And that's what we will start right on the top of Lamed Hey Amud Aleph. Im Isel the Reb Huna, Kevan the Mishtav Milva, since Mel swears Sheina B'Rishusai, that the collateral is not in his Rishus, what are we worried about? Eichin Matzi Mapakla. How is he going to take it out? Amar Rava, so Rava says, Mel didn't swear. The reason why he didn't swear is Sheyesh Eidim Shenisrfa. There are witnesses that it was burnt. Says, well, if there were witnesses that it was burnt, then why can't Ruvain swear? We're not worried that Mel is going to take it out if the witnesses that it was burnt. Where is he going to get it from? Amar Rav Yosef Sheyesh Eidim Shenignava. There are witnesses that the collateral was stolen from Mel. So again, says Gemara, well, if there were witnesses that it was stolen, we don't have to worry that Mel will pull it out. Sof Meichi Maisela. Says the Gemara, no, our worry is that Mel will try to go and recover it. The Torah Chamaisila. So the Gemara says, so what are we saying? We're shifting the shvuah to Mel, that Mel swears that the collateral was only worth a shekel, but then maybe Ruvain will go and try to find the collateral. Iachi Kimishtav Milva Nami Litrach Loiva. The Ruvain, the debtor, will go try to find the collateral, the lacing. So the Gemara says there's no right way for Ruvain to go and find the thief. The thief didn't come into Ruvain's house. The thief entered Mel's house. He knows who's been going in and out of his house, so he's going to figure out who stole it. And he could recover the collateral. But Ruvain, me other man, I have enough of the milva. Does he know who came in and out? Abaya says a different shot. We're afraid that Mel swears I don't have the collateral. He talked like Rav Huna. Mel swears that he doesn't have the collateral. But we're afraid that after he did the oath, which he swore truthfully, he might find the collateral. He'll claim, after the collateral I found it. Rav Ashi says, the truth of the matter is both swear. Zeh nishba v'zeh nishba. Zeh nishba she'ena b'rishusai. Mel swears that it was not in his rishus. V'zeh nishma kama ha'yeshava. And Ruvain Taka swears how much it's worth. V'hachi kama, mi nishbet tchila, who swears first? First, we have Mel swear. Mil v'nishbet tchila, because if we have Ruvain swear first, and when he says, no, I swear that it was only worth, the collateral was worth 3 dinner, and I only owe Mel 1 dinner, then Mel, before he gets a chance to swear, will pull out the collateral and prove that Reuven is a liar. Mi nishbet tchila, mil v'nishbet tfila, shema yishava zeh, lest Reuven swear, and then v'yoytzi Allah es hapikad. Rav Huna bar Tachlifa Mishmei de Rava Amar. Rav Huna, the son of Tachlifa in the name of Rava, says, Reisha de Seifa tiyuftal Rav Huna. The beginning of the Seifa is a refutation of Rav Huna. How? What's the case of the ratio of the Seifa? Mel says, Sela he'll be saying Yolav. Mel says that, Ruvain, I gave you a Sela, and you, excuse me, the other way around. Ruvain says, Sela ilvi love. Mel, you gave me a Sela loan, and Shtayim or Yeshava, the collateral that I gave you, the watch, was worth 2 Sela. And you lost the watch, so you owe me a Sela. You gave me a loan of a Sela. I gave you collateral of 2 Sela. You lost the watch, you owe me a Sela. And Mel says, Loiki, not so. Ela Sela ilvi sicha love. I gave you a loan of a Sela, and Sela ha-yeshava, and it was worth a Sela. So we're square. I gave you a loan of a Sela. The watch was worth a Sela. I lost it. So it cancels each other out. So there, Mel is not moida b'miktzas. He denies owing Reuven any money. So in such a case, potter. But wait a second. According to Rav Huna, Mel should have to swear that I don't have the collateral. V'misel the Rav Huna, and once he has to swear that he doesn't have the collateral, he should be Gilgal Shvua also have to swear that the collateral was only worth a Sela and not 2 Sela. Since he has to swear that it's not in his possession, once there's a din that once a person already has to swear, we could make him swear on all the details. That's called Gilgal Shvua. We could roll the Shvua on him. And therefore, if he has to swear that Itaka doesn't have the collateral, we should then roll upon him that he should also have to swear that the collateral was only worth a Sela. That he doesn't have the collateral, that was only worth a Sela. Amar Rav Ashi, Amrisa l'shmatza kami de Rav Kahana. I said this over before Rav Kahana. V'amali, and he explained to me, tehei b'maminai. It's talking about a case where Reuven trusts Mel that if Mel says he doesn't have the collateral, he trusts him that he doesn't have the collateral. And since he doesn't have to make that shvua, we can't roll upon him any other shvua. Says the Gemara, if so, if Reuven trusts Mel, so then he should also trust Mel how much the collateral was worth. Says the Gemara, like him, he's not. Mel doesn't know the value of the collateral. It's Reuven's watch. It's his wedding watch. He knows how much it's worth. Mel doesn't know how much it's worth. Says the Gemara, "V'nehemnei malva l'loiva." Why don't we say, if we're talking about trusting people, because that's what you're setting it up. You're setting it up with friends that they trust each other. So then Mel should believe Reuven when he says that it's worth 2 slav. That he knows what it is. Says, Mel doesn't trust Reuven. So the Gemara says, why do we set up a case where Reuven trusts Mel and Mel doesn't trust Reuven? Why is it that Reuven trusts Mel? And Mel doesn't trust Reuven? Says the Gemara, Loiva Mekayim Beba Milva. The Loiva attributes to the Milva Tumas Yesharim Tanchem. The perfection of the upright leads them, which Rashi explains means that if a person is wealthy, it shows that Hashem is pleased with them. And therefore, Reuven feels that since Hashem is shining upon Mel, that he's trustworthy. On the other hand, Milva Mekayim Beibeloiva, Mel upholds by Reuven, V'selef boigdim yeshadeh. The perverseness, the crookedness of the treacherous caused them to be cast aside. No, it's since he's poor and he needs to take loans that shows that Hashem is does not find favor in him, and therefore Mel doesn't trust him. Okay, just getting underway on a night where we will have a special Haggadah here. I just want to see something. As of yet, we do not have a sponsor for tonight's Haggadah here. Ha'u Gavra, the Afkid Kipe Gabe Chavre. What happened is Reuven deposited wood by Marshall. Excuse me. It's easy to confuse Uchpa and Kipe. Here, Kipe is a pair of diamond earrings. And we'll see they were very expensive diamond earrings, colored diamond earrings, at least $60,000. So Reuven, I don't know what Reuven is doing. Reuven is a little bit of a simpler guy, but he deposited these pink diamonds by Marshall. Amalei, so Reuven tells Marshall, Hovli Kipe, give me my pink diamonds. So with Reuven, it's easy come, easy go. Amalei, so Marshall tells him, what do you expect? Marshall tells him, Lo yadana heicha oisvinu. I don't know where I put them. Sounds like Marshall, right? So, also the comment of Rav Nachman. Reuven came before Rav Nachman, $60,000, it's a chunk of change. Amalei, so Rav Nachman said, Kol lo yadana. If he says, I don't know where it is, pshiyusu, that's negligence. So even if he's a shaymer chinam, he's chayiv. Zil shlim. go and pay Reuven. Now comes the next. What do you expect? Lo shilem. He didn't pay. Everything is very predictable over here. I think we just received the sponsor for tonight's share. Thank you very much. So, also Rav Nachman went, Agvei la padnamine. He went ahead and he seized Marshall's mansion, after all, Marshall's castle, which was worth $60,000. L'seif ishtakach kipe, after he found the pink diamonds, v'yakar, and they went up to $100,000. So Amar Rav Nachman told Marshall, don't try any shtick. Hadre kipe l'marayu. Return the diamonds to Reuven, v'hadra apadna l'mara, and take back your mansion. Now, of course, Marshall doesn't want to return the diamonds, because now they're $40,000 worth more. He wants to keep the diamonds. So Amar Rava, Rava said, Ava Yasivna Kami de Rav Nachman, I was sitting before Rav Nachman, O Pirkan Amafkirav, and we happened to be learning Amafkid. V'amrulei, so we said to him, Shilem v'loy ratza lishava, if he pays and he doesn't want to take an oath, the din is that he gets to keep it, and therefore, since Marshall already paid, he should get to keep the earrings and get the profit. And Rava says, Rav Nachman didn't even deign to reply to me. And Rava says, in contemplation, and it was good that he didn't answer me. Why? My time. Over there, where the person paid up and didn't swear, he didn't trouble the litigant to go to Bezdin. Here, Marshall troubled Reuven to go to Bezdin, and Bezdin had to seize Marshall's property, so therefore Marshall doesn't get to keep it. Says the Gemara, Lememra, does this mean to imply the Savarach Nachman the Shumahader, that if stuff was seized by the court, then you could get it back? Says the Gemara, well, Shani Hasam, it's different over there, the Shuma B'Toazabe, because really it was seized from Marshall wrongfully, because Marshall had the diamonds all the time. If a taka would be a loan where Marshall gave a loan, Reuven gave a loan to Marshall, and Marshall didn't have the money, and the property was taken away from him. So there maybe we say that if Marshall wants to come up with the money later, there maybe we say that Reuven doesn't have to give back the land. But over here, Marshall had the diamonds all the time. Imre Nardoi, indeed, in Nardoi they said that in the event that Reuven gave a loan to Marshall, and Marshall, when the loan was up, when the time was up, he didn't have what to pay, and Reuven took his house, Shuma Hodar Atresa Yarchei Shat. If Marshall comes up with the money, he could get back his house up till a year. V'amar Ameimer says, Ano min Narda Ana, I come from Narda, Usvira li, and I hold Shuma Hodar Loilam. Marshall could always get back his house. V'ilchas Shuma Hodar Loilam, Mishum Shenemar, it says, Vasisa Yoshev Adotayv, should do what's upright and what's good. Now, Pshita, if Shamolei lebal chayv, if Marshall owed money to Reuven, and Marshall didn't have money, so they evaluated his vineyard, and Reuven took the vineyard. Va'azal iyu v'shamal b'al chayiv didei. Reuven owed money to Shimon, so he gave the vineyard to Shimon. And now Marshall comes up with money, and he wants the vineyard back. Amrinon lei, we tell Shimon loi odef at megavra da'asis minei. You're not better than the person that you're coming in his behalf. You got it from Reuven. Reuven would have had to return it to Marshall, so you have to return it, and you get the money instead. But if Zavna, if Reuven sold it to someone, or Ursa, or the creditor inherited it to someone, or V'yova b'matana, or gave it as a gift, there, they didn't take it because they wanted money. See, Shimon just wanted payment of a loan. He wanted money. But the buyer, the purchaser, wanted the land. The one who got the gift was getting a gift of land. The one who inherited it was getting land. Vadi hanime kara daita de aranachas, v'lav adata de zuzeinachas. It's not for money, and therefore they don't have to return it to Marshall. Shamula leisha. What happened if Marshall owed money to Sally, and they evaluated Marshall's land and gave it to Sally, and then the insiva, and then Sally got married. So now the land passes to her husband. Can Marshall give money now and take it away from the husband? Oh, or what about let's say they seized money from Sally. In other words, Sally owed the money, and they seized money from Sally. And then the insiva, and then Sally got married, and now the husband, and now and now she died, Umesa, and the husband wants to give money and get it back. So the Gemara says, Bal benichse ishtai, the husband in the property of his wife has a din of a buyer. Bal benichse ishtai lekeach habe. The husband, when it comes to the property of his wife, has a din of a buyer, and we said that a buyer goes into it for the land, and therefore loy mahader, he doesn't have to return it. And in the case of where he offers to pay money for it to get it back, v'loy madrina lei, we don't return it back to him. Now, how do we know that a husband has a din of a buyer? This is a famous Takonos Usha. It's nice to see that we have now 29 Zoomers. We've been a little bit low on our Zooming the last few days. I said last night, and I want to say it again now with more people here, that I was given a gift on Purim of Shalach Manas, a beautiful gift certificate to a restaurant, and I want to thank the Olam for participating. Aaron, I also want to acknowledge that you sent me a gift, and thank you for that as well.
Rabbi, what was the girl's name again?
The girl's name is Sarafega Bas Leachaya. Sarafega Bas Leachaya. What's the raya? That a husband is like a buyer in the property of his wife. Remember we said that after the Sanhedrin was exiled from the Lishkas Hagazes, from the chamber of cut stone, it went to 10 different places. Now, one of the places it went to was Usha. And in Usha they enacted that Ha'isha shemachra b'nichsei melug b'chaye baila. Remember we said that a woman has property that she brings into marriage. One type of property is called nichsei melug, which means the base of the property is hers, but the husband has a right of usufruct, to use the fruit while he's married to her. But if when they get divorced, if the property goes down in value, she suffers the loss. If it goes up in the value, it's hers. So in Usha they said, if she sells futures in her husband's property during the lifetime of her husband, that means she can't sell it to use it because the husband has rights of usufruct, but she sells it that in case her husband divorces her or her husband dies, so then this man will get the property. But then, Umesa, she predeceases her husband. So now what happens? The din is, the husband takes it away from the buyer because the husband has a din of a loikeach rishayna, an earlier buyer. So we see that the husband has a din of a loikeach. Agvei ihu b'chayvei. What happens if the marshal didn't wait for the court to take it away from him? Rather, marshal went ahead and gave Reuven his karshap on his own. And now the question is, marshal has money and he wants to get back his karshap. So pliga b'ravacha b'ravina. It's machlokes Ravacha and Ravina. Chad amar hadra. One says that marshal can get it back. V'chad amar lo hadra. And one says marshal can't get it back. Manda amar lo hadra can't get it back. Savar haizvina me'al. There was no litigation over here. He owed Reuven $60,000, and he gave him the karshap instead. It's a regular sale. He did this on his own. And the one that says that marshal could get it back, marshal was not happy to give up his karshap. It's not a regular sale. He said, and why didn't he wait until it went to the due process of the court? That which he gave it to him on his own, and he didn't wait for the court to take it. It's only because of embarrassment. Now, when the court awards to Reuven Marshall's karshap, or let's say it's Marshall's vineyard, at what point does Reuven get the rights to the grapes? Says the Gemara, Ume'emas ochel perek. From what point can Reuven consume the grapes of Marshall's vineyard? As soon as he gets the writ of seizure, that Bezdin gives him a writ of seizure that he could sign, that he could seize the vineyard, from that date of that writ of seizure, he gets the grapes. Abaya says even before the writ is delivered into his hand, as soon as the witnesses sign the writ of seizure, Eidav b'chasumav zachin loy. The witnesses grant Reuven the right as soon as they sign the document. Rava says Rava is a champion of Marshall. Rava says the only time Reuven gets the grapes is mechishlimu yemei achrasta. What happens is they don't award the vineyard right away to Reuven. They put up the vineyard for auction, for the highest bidder. If Reuven has the highest bid, then Reuven gets it. But if not, it goes to the highest bidder. So it's only after the days of the public auction is over and Reuven gets the highest bid, only then does he get it. Now we continue. And again, I want to remind you that tonight, as we welcome Nathan Langer and Jay Siegel, tonight after we finish the daf, we did the Mishnah Yomi already because we go into a special Haggadah here. Haseicher para mechaverai. If Haseicher para mechaverai. If, let's say, Marshall rents a cow from Reuven, and you know Marshall, he's a wheeler dealer. What can I tell you? He's a wheeler dealer. So he rents a cow from Reuven, v'sh'ila lacha, and he lends it to Shelley. Umeisa kedarka, and by Shelley it dies in a normal fashion. So here's an interesting thing. Marshall is not chayiv to Reuven, because a seicher, a renter, is not chayiv if it dies. That's an einus. But a shayel is chayiv if it dies. So Reuven loses his cow, and Marshall makes money on Reuven's cow. I mean, I tell you, even the mafia doesn't have such a racket. It's an amazing thing. Let's see it inside. Let's see it inside. Haseicha para mechaverai. Marshall rents a cow from Reuven. V'shila lacher. He lends it to Shelley. Omeisa kedaka. Yishava haseicha shemeisa kedaka. So Marshall swears that the cow died normally, so therefore he's off the hook from Reuven. And then Shelley pays Marshall, and Marshall just made himself a cow. Holy cow! Rabbi Yaisi, this does not sit well with Rabbi Yaisi, nor with any of the other million Hamish Yidden that are listening to this year. No, it doesn't sit well. Rabbi Yaisi, Kate said, Allah how is Marshall making money with Reuven's cow? The money for the cow should return to Reuven. After all, it's Reuven's darn cow. I mean, I would say that Reuven has been taking this pretty easy. Probably because it wasn't his cow for the first place. But anyway, easy cow, easy come, easy go. Amalei Ravidi ba'avin labaya. Michte. Soicher b'may kani l'hai para. How does he acquire this cow? B'shvua. By making an oath that the cow died in a natural way. V'neima le'masker l'soicher. Let Reuven tell Marshall, Dal ant v'dal shvuasech. Remove yourself and remove your shvua. And I'll take the money from Shelley. V'ana mishta'ina dina ba'dei shayel. And I'll talk with Shelley. Shelley, what happened? It died. Give me the money. Says Gemara, mi savit seicher b'shvua de kakanila? You think that the seicher requires it with the oath? B'shas misahu dekani. He acquires it when it died. V'shvua k'dei l'hafez daitei shabalabayis. And the shvua is only to appease Reuven. So now, if you want to hold on to your hats, the next case is so incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Reuven could be chayiv to pay Marshall 2 cows for his own cow. I know now I got Reuven's attention. It's his cow, and he can be chayiv to pay for 2 cows for his own cow. Now that's cowing around. Let's see it inside. There are times that the owner of the cow will have to pay many cows to the renter. Look at Marshall. Xmas came early for Marshall. It's unbelievable. Yes, says the Gemara. Hey Chidami. Mamish talking to Marshall. Hey Chidami. What's the case? Ogra minei meya Yomi. He rented it from Reuven. Hold on to your head. Hold on to your head. Dr. Block, I sent you a text, but I in between sending you the text and having you answer, I got a sponsor in the interim. Says the Gemara, hey Chidami, what's the case? Igra minei meya Yomi. Marshall rented, we'll call the cow Elsie. Marshall rented Elsie for 100 days. So now for 100 days, it's Marshall's. Reuven, something came up. Reuven needs Elsie back. So v'hadar shaylei minei tishin yomin. So he borrowed it, his own cow, mind you, but he borrowed it from Marshall for 90 days. Marshall then rented it back for 80 days. Reuven again had a dire need, so he borrowed it back for 70 days. And while it was by Reuven, it died. So now Reuven is on the hook for 2 loan periods, for the 90-day loan period and the 70-day loan period. And a shayl is chayiv to pay if it dies. So he has to pay, it's Reuven's cow, he has to pay 2 cows. Now, of course, don't forget that Reuven is getting 2 rentals for 90 days and for 100 days and for 90 days. But because of that, Reuven has to give him 2 cows. He has to give him another cow for the rental. Reuven can go broke on doing business with Marshall. For each loan, he has to pay a separate cow. Now, Rav Achim Difti doesn't like this. Mark's head is spinning like a dreidel. Says the Gemara, Amalei Rav Achim Difti Ravina Michtei Chada Parahi. It's 1 cow. Aile ve'apka. It goes in and out. Apka meschiris goes out from a rental, v'aile l'sheila. Then it goes into a loan. Apka misheila goes out from a loan, v'aile l'schiris. And therefore, since it's only 1 cow, Reuven should be on the hook only for 1 cow. So Amalei Miyisa Lapara Be'ena. If the cow is around, so Reuven could say, here's the cow. But the cow is not around. The name of Leach. Ma'ber Avashi Amar Ein Lo Yalein El Shtei Paras. Marshall could only demand from Reuven 2 cows. Chada de She'ela, one for the loan, because it was a concurrent loan for 70 days and for 90 days. So he could only ask for 1 loan, the Chada de Schiris, and 1 for the rental, because he also told him that he was renting it for him. Shum Sheila Achasi, the name of the loan is 1, V'shum Schiris Achasi. The She'ela Kani Legamre, the one that was for a loan that died, he has to give to Marshall forever. The Schiris, the one for the rental, he has to give it to him for the remainder of the 100 days. Ovid by Yemei Schirusa, he has to give it to him for the remainder of the 100 days. And then return it to Reuven. So Reuven is out 1 cow. It's an amazing thing how you could profit. Marshall didn't even have a toothpick to his name. And he ends up with a cow. It's a holy cow. Okay. We're going to go now straight into the Chumash here. We did the daf already.